from Newmarket, Aurora.
Speaker, my question is to the Premier. Speaker, even yesterday the Premier was willing to support part of the motion that was before this House, and that was that a committee should be struck to look into this scandal. He just avoided answering a question, a very straightforward question from the leader of the third party. Will he agree to appear before that committee to answer for his actions regarding the decisions relating to this scandal? The Premier refused to appear before the Standing Committee investigating the Orange scandal on 2 different occasions. Wow. I would like to know now from the Premier, will he stand in his place, agree that he will appear before the Finance Committee and take responsibility for his role in this scandal?
Thank you. House Leader.
You know, Mr. Speaker, it is nothing, the attitude of the opposition has been nothing short of outrageous. The fact of the matter is that we have a committee of the legislature which is only recently, less than 24 hours ago, has been charged to look into this matter. I think we should allow the committee to do its work. I also think, Mr. Speaker, that we should not prejudge what that committee is going to do or find. And instead, Mr. Speaker, look at some of the things that have come from across the way. The member from Simcoe Grey asked the Minister of Energy, why are you risking it all? Your political career, your legal career, your integrity. The member from Simcoe Grey in this House talked about the public shaming they have already received, about breaking the law. Mr. Speaker, this is outrageous. Let us allow the committee to do its work, and to stand in this House and prejudge the work of the committee to tarnish the name of the Minister of Energy is quite frankly unacceptable.
Speaker, since when is it outrageous for a parliamentary committee to expect a Premier to answer for his actions? I'd like to read from the Premier's own words yesterday. Since 1792, through the War of 1812, the industrialization of our province, the First World War through Prohibition, the Great Depression, the Second World War, a series of minority governments and coalitions in the 1970s, the 1980s, and the 1990s, which saw government held by all 3 parties, through the advent of the Internet, through globalization, and then the most recent recession. These were the Premier's calls. Well, I say no Premier has ever left such a legacy of disrespect for the legislative process, for the obstruction of justice, disrespect for this legislature, than this Premier. I will ask now, will he admit that he is at the center of this scandal?
Thank you. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Governor House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, he wants to stand up and talk about disrespect. The fact of the matter is, Mr. Speaker, this was a very important motion that was debated by this legislature, and our party had put forward, I gave full notice to all members of this House that our party wished to put forward an amendment which would charge the committee to come forward with recommendations that would be important.
The member from Lambton will withdraw.
Mr. Speaker, we came forward with an amendment which would allow a legislative committee of this legislature to come forward with recommendations that would help all parties function when it came to balancing the public interest and the committee's rights to have documents. We told every member of the House that we wanted to proceed with that, and he and his party stood up and moved closure. They stifled debate in this House. They would not allow us to even move this amendment, Mr. Speaker, and he talks about disrespect.
New question, the member from Toronto, Danforth.
Thank you, Speaker. My question to the Premier. The Premier's principal secretary, one of his closest personal advisors, is shown throughout the gas plant documents participating in meetings